Here you can see I have opened a project in Apache NetBeans to run the certain dynamic consolidation algorithm in Cloud Simulator. These are all the packages in Cloud Simulator. What you need to learn, you need to focus on Power package, which I am going to highlight here. That is named as org.cloudbus.cloudsim.power. Now open this package. You can see a lot of files over there. These files are associated with Power package, and these are the responsible for dynamic consolidation of virtual machine. What you need to learn? You need to learn three things. The first one is host overload detection. Second is selection of virtual machine. And third is virtual machine placement. There are three steps to perform dynamic consolidation of virtual machine. Now you can see in this package, these are the algorithms developed by the author. You can see here DVFS, IQRMC, all are the executable file which execute a related algorithm of DCVM. For example, when you learn this LRMMT, it means LR mean local regression, MMT mean minimum migration time. So when we execute this algorithm, when we execute this file, it will call Power VM allocation policy migration local regression.java for host overload detection, and Power VM selection policy minimum migration time.java for VM selection. VM selection from where? VM selection from the overloaded host. When we select a VM from overloaded host for the migration, the host will become normal. So there is a requirement of selection of virtual machine. There is a requirement of host overload detection. And finally, there is a requirement of VM placement. Overall, you need to focus on this main file, that is Power VM allocation policy migration abstract.java. For example, if you want to develop an algorithm for placement purpose only, VM placement purpose only, but your goal is dynamic consolidation of virtual machine. And for the dynamic consolidation of virtual machine, you are going to design an algorithm for VM placement. So you need to focus on VM placement only. Now you can select which algorithm you can use for host overload and which algorithm you can use for virtual machine selection. So for example, I have selected local regression for host overload detection. I will make no changes over here, and minimum migration time for virtual machine selection from overloaded host. I will not change, or I will not add any function in Power VM allocation policy migration local regression and Power VM selection policy minimum migration time. And when I will execute my program, I will execute my algorithm. Local regression.java will be called for host overload detection, and minimum migration time will be used for VM selection from overloaded host to make them stable. So you need to work on this file. Now where you will work?